Hey y'all, it's me, Miss B, and today we are talking about inverse variation. So let's jump right in. Here's our first example. The variables x and y vary inversely. So if you remember from our last notes, that means that y is equal to x over a, and a is equal to xy. So I need to first write an equation relating x and y. So I'm going to go ahead and have an equation for a. So a is equal to xy. So I'm going to go ahead and plug in x and y. 4 times -3. So a equals -12. I need to plug the -12 into my y equals x over a equation. So I have y equals x over -12. And this right here is the answer to part A. Part B, I need to find y when x equals 2. So y when x equals 2, I plug in 2 for x. So then I have this, and then I simplify. 2 over -12 is -1/6. So that's my answer to part B. All right. Go ahead and try this one on your own. All right. So we have these two definitions. Combined variation is when one quantity relates to two or more quantities. So that's going to be when we're talking about when something varies directly. Okay? Joint variation is when one quantity relates to two or more quantities directly, and we'll most likely be talking about x and z. So we just have to make sure. Most times we'll see the word joint. We won't see the word combined very often because it's more specifically joint is a form of combined. Right, the equation you might see is y equals axz, where, and this would be so the way you would read this is y varies jointly.
Lexi Kubar to the main office, please. Lexi Kubar.
Varies jointly with x and z. All right. In all types of variation, if you solve the equation for y, the other side should have no addition or subtraction. So if you have addition or subtraction, then it's going to be none as your answer. All right, so let's write an equation for these relationships down here. So y varies directly with x, so we're going to highlight directly with x and inversely with z squared. So when we see y varies, what I'm going to write is that means y equals. I'm actually going to change the color of this one here just so we can keep track a little better. Go a little bigger here. I didn't want that purple, but I can't find it. Okay, here we go. So we've got directly with x. So if directly with x, that means that it's going to be some multiplication on the other side. So this is going to be in the numerator. So we've got my variable a times x. So that's the direct relationship. So there's always going to be an a. And then if it's inversely with z, then we are dividing by z squared. Okay, so this whole thing is y equals ax over z squared as our final answer. All right, so again, I have y varies. That means that's going to be a y equals. I'm always going to have an a somewhere. And then it varies inversely with x to the third. So that means my x to the third is going in the denominator. So my final answer is y equals a over x to the third. All right, we're going to save number 3. Number 4. So y varies. Again, that means we're going to do y equals a. Let me actually move this up. We're kind of running shy on space. So y equals a. If it's jointly with x and z, that means it's going to be directly. So we've got a, x, z, and then it's inversely with w, so we are dividing by w. So my final answer is y equals a, x, z over w. Okay, and then we'll save number 5. Just to summarize, if we see the word directly, well, let's start with varies. Okay, so if I see the word varies, that means we're talking about, that means it's going to be y equals a. And then we've got some more stuff. Okay, when it says directly, I want you to think, okay, we're multiplying, and it's going to be in the numerator. If it says inversely, that means there's going to be some division, which means there's probably going to be something in the denominator. If you see jointly, again, that just means 2 plus being multiplied together. Okay, so that is all for